Oh, it's dark. What are you doing? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. I'm just going to share this real quick, and then we will get going. All right. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a comment. Make sure that you guys can hear what's going on. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Rainify. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my second live stream. I'm just pulling up a couple windows here so I can focus. Glad you guys are all here. Quickly, your first impressions of the game. What do you think? Let's talk about the game first, and then we can talk about the road trip overall. And I will give you my full attention. I'm just loading up one thing here so I can see what I'm doing. Actually, before we start, yeah, there's a couple of people, Rainify, saying that Pettersson is now on the IR. Is that true? If that's true, I didn't hear that actually. But that's big news, obviously. But maybe we can get back to that if that is indeed true. It's pretty crazy, actually. All right, here we go. Oh, it's on Reddit. So I'm not much of a Reddit user, so we're going to have to – I'll get you guys because I can't – it'll be rude if I start looking stuff up when I'm talking to you guys. So if anyone else can confirm it by going to another site or whatever, and whoever – Rainify, you said it's on Reddit. What's the source that they say on Reddit? Is it from the Canucks themselves or whatever? Because it sounds like everything is going good. Or maybe it's retroactive IR now that I think about it, actually. Because I think if he's on retroactive IR, maybe you save that salary for that week that he's on IR. Because, Ian McIntyre and others have said, that around the team have said that his recovery looks good. He's been working out for 4 straight days. So, yeah, maybe you guys can find out, or you know a lot better than I do. He might be on IR, but it could be retroactive, and therefore some salary savings for the time he's been on IR ever since last Saturday. If the Canucks were smart, they would put him on IR on Saturday or Sunday as soon as the injury happened. But who knows? I guess that'll come out later, or more people will be talking about it, and we will find out more about it. All right, let's see. Adam, I found Besser super slow tonight during the season. Off season, he's definitely trying to get faster. Yeah, I'd agree. You really saw Besser struggle on the Edler's penalty that led to Winnipeg's first power play goal. You guys might remember the Canucks were on a power play, and then he took a bad pass actually from Barchi. It bounced off his skate, but then Winnipeg went on a breakaway. Nilsson stopped it, but then the puck was kind of lying there, and Besser, you guys might remember, he kind of turned around and skated away. Obviously, Besser thought that Nilsson was either going to cover it or that Edler was going to take the puck, but regardless, Besser skated away. Edler did not take control, had to take a hooking penalty, and it led to the Winnipeg Jets' first goal. So, and Besser did look slow. He didn't look himself. Even on that breakaway that Goodobin sprung him for, we knew that Besser wasn't going to deke anyone out, but he also pulled up for his wrist shot that was just okay. It wasn't the strongest shot I've ever seen. So, yeah, I was still excited about Besser. I was excited that he had scored two goals in the last 3 games, and they're 2 game winners. But yeah, he did not look particularly strong tonight. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, some talk about Gudbranson. Yeah, Gudbranson's been okay. Actually, the defenseman that I noticed the most was Pouliot, not just because of his nice pass to Horvat on the lone Canucks goal, but I thought Pouliot, especially in the first period, was very noticeable. And I'm not the biggest Pouliot fan, but I thought tonight he was great. He played the body well. He's not the biggest guy, just like Stetcher's not the biggest guy, but I thought Pouliot used his body well, uses angles well, and played quite well. And obviously a great assist to Horvat on his goal. Okay, I know last time, you guys, for those of you that were on my first one last week, I spoke way too quickly because I tried to get to every question, I was proud of that. but my answers, half of them didn't make sense. The other half, well, they made sense, but I was speaking very quickly. So I'm going to try and be more calm, maybe spend more time on here. I'll try and get to all of your comments, and I apologize if if I don't get to everything. If it's just a simple comment or something that I've already touched on, I might skip over or maybe acknowledge it quickly. But it's the questions I'll try my best to answer. So early chat was about Pettersson on IR, but like I said, that might not be the end of the world, especially if it was only 7 to 10 days, and he's already used up 4 or 5 of those days already. Besser did seem slow. Good Branson's rush. Besser has to lose weight. Pettersson IR is sourced from Cap Friendly Transactions Twitter post. Okay, thanks, Rainify. So I don't know if Cap Friendly Transactions is a good source, but if that's the case, it might be more of a cap transaction. And let's not freak out about Pettersson yet. I think more people will be talking about it. At least the future captain scored it. Yep, I can see Horvat being a future captain. I'm okay with the loss. Jets are a very good team. Yeah, the Canucks knocked off some really good teams on this road trip. Obviously, Stanley Cup contenders or in Tampa Bay, in Pittsburgh. Winnipeg is also one of those Stanley Cup contenders. So you could say that of their road trip, they played 3 really good teams in Tampa, in Pittsburgh, and in Winnipeg. And the Canucks knocked off 2 of them, which is pretty outstanding. And of course, their losses were to Carolina and Calgary, decent teams, and then they beat Florida. But we don't want to talk about Florida too much tonight. I want to stay in a good mood. Virtanen sure looked lost defensively. Yeah, I thought Virtanen started the game very well. He seemed like he had a lot of jump, which he usually. But as we know, sometimes anytime Virtanen, the puck gets on Virtanen's stick, it just kind of goes into a black hole. He's not the best passer. He's not the best playmaker. Virtanen is the strongest when he's getting the puck in stride and taking a quick shot or rushing to the net. But yeah, no one's ever going to confuse him for a Selke winner or a candidate or whatever it may be. Putting him with Sutter should help him defensively. But yeah, they were definitely on for, I believe it was the 4th goal of the Jets, and they did not look good on that goal. Granted, 2 of the Jets' goals were power plays, and 2 of them were even strength. And one of them was against the 4th line, and one of them was against the 3rd line. Clay, why do you think the Canucks can't beat the Jets? Simple. No, well, not simple. The Jets are a very strong team. I kind of talked about that in my interview. I'm interviewing myself in my video today. That they have 4 really strong lines, but their 2 scoring lines are awesome. In Scheifele, Wheeler, Laine, Connor, Little, and Ehlers. That's a great top 6. Then you guys have guys like Tanev and Perreault and guys that you can see can put the puck in the net as well, and Lowry. And then of course on D they got Bufflin and Trouba, Myers, Big D, and then Connor Hellebuyck's one of the top 5 goalies in the league. So they are not weak anywhere. They are fast, but they are skilled and they are strong. 3 things that I know the Canucks aspire to. Maybe not there yet. So that's why I think the Jets, that's why they're going to be a powerhouse for the next little bit. And that's why, as I said in my video earlier today, I'm not a bandwagon jumper at all, but Winnipeg is my 2nd favorite team. And I outlined those reasons earlier in today's video. Louis Eriksson seems invisible at the first 2 games. Scratch him. Yeah, that's you can tell he was the beneficiary of some strong play from Elias Pettersson for the first few games. And both Goodobin and Eriksson have basically gone completely quiet. Actually, Goodobin had a decent game. He made some good passes and he had a couple chances. But Eriksson has gone invisible once again. And don't forget, guys, this is only year 3 of a 6-year contract. At least both scored. Yes, Gravite, I agree. If you're looking for a good hockey YouTuber to follow Gravite, Graviteh. He's based out of Dallas. And he's told me that Roussel was a good pickup for us. And I'm getting a lot of white hair. I can see that in my screen right now, but that doesn't matter. Okay, that was a total Horvat goal tonight. Yeah, and I tweeted actually my Twitter account's @CanuckClay if you want to follow me there if you're not doing that already. Horvat, his speeding has obviously improved a lot over the past couple of years, and we all know as Canucks fans that Horvat loves that outside-inside move. Right, looks like he's going to rush wide, and then whether it's a toe drag or a quick move to the inside, we know that as Canucks fans, we love it. I actually tweeted out, I'm surprised that more D and more teams don't scout that and play it better. Now, granted, things happen in a split second. It's easier said than done to just stop a guy, a 200-pound man skating quickly and with great hands coming in on you. But yes, Horvat looked good, and he's already got 4 goals in the season, 4 goals in 7 games. That's on pace for over 40. I don't think he's going to do that, but still, it's a wonderful start for Horvat, and we hope, obviously, that he stays healthy. Besser's not himself after adding 10 pounds. Yeah, Al Lin, sorry, not all in. It looks like all in. Al, I referenced that right at the start of this video he looks slow and sluggish today. But he had coming off a couple of really good games, so maybe today was just an off game. And I think the whole team was tired. This is the end of a 6-game road trip. And yes, they never played back to back. They had 1 or 2 days rest between each game. But when you think about it, that is 6 flights. Going to 6 different cities, whether the long flights or short flights, whatever it may be. To come out of there with a 3-3 record, I think is a success. I know a lot of analysts were saying they were going to come back 1-5 on the road trip or 0-6. So to get 6 out of 12 points, pretty impressive. All right, let's keep going. Just bulldozed his way to the net. Yeah. Oh, I missed one. Could the Canucks be a contender in a few years, or are they a couple of pieces away, like a solid first-line center or a top 4 D-man? Arjun, I think with Quinn Hughes, that'll help a lot. Quinn Hughes will bolster the defense. So you see Hughes and Juolevi likely playing next year, with probably Del Zotto and a couple others leaving. Then up front, everyone's going to be better next year. Maybe you're looking at a guy like Gaudette making more of an impact. Maybe a guy like Jonathan Dahlen. Maybe guys like Colin, Jonah Gadjevich, whoever it may be. So the Canucks will only get better. And I still think they're not going to make the playoffs this year. I want them to, but I don't know if they will. But I think maybe the Canucks are showing that the rebuild isn't so far away, that yes, we are in the middle of it, but maybe we're going to be contending next year or 2 years as opposed to 3 or 4 years down the road. Bro, Pettersson is on IR. At Madison. Yeah, we talked about that right at the start of this video, that he is on the IR. But again, as I mentioned, that could be retroactive IR. He might be activated in 4 or 5 days. What's going to happen to Del Zotto now that Hutton's playing well? It's a good question. After a 4-1 loss, granted at the end of a road trip, now is a chance for Travis Green to make lineup changes. Maybe Brendan Leipzig comes in for a guy like Granlund or Mott or anyone who wasn't playing well up front. Maybe Del Zotto makes his way in for on the left side, though. You're not going to replace Edler, so it's really Pouliot or Hutton. And I just talked about how Pouliot had a strong game and Hutton's been playing well, so maybe Del Zotto still sits. So what I don't think they're going to waive him per se. I think on D, especially, you're always looking. There's always going to be an injury. Canucks, we know that they lose a lot of man games to injury, so I think he's got to be patient. Maybe he gets in the next game, maybe he doesn't, but I think we'll see Del Zotto very soon in the lineup. Again, maybe as early as next game, but I think maybe sometime in the next 2 or 3 for sure, depending on injuries or the play of the other D-men. So I'm not too worried about him yet. But yes, he's on an expiring contract, so I don't think the Canucks are worried about him too much either. If Jake can get his hands to be a little better, he could be very dangerous. Yeah, I love Jake Virtanen. As I mentioned in the last live stream, and I've said before on my channel, I've met his parents, had a good chat. The parents said that the best thing for Jake was go to Utica for that year and be mentored by a guy like Darren Archibald. And yeah, Jake's got the whole package if you can put it together. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the hands. He's sort of got the hands. He's definitely got the size and the speed, and he's got to work on his hockey sense. And I think I've said that a few times, and I think you guys would agree with me. What's your prediction for Saturday's game? This is only their second home game, Samuel. I think the Canucks will win. I hope so. I'm going to that game finally. I made a joke on Twitter. I basically tweeted out that I love it when my lovely wife Gail and my son Sean argue about who gets to go with me to the Canucks game. And Sean will start off and said, "Mom, you don't even know who the Canucks are playing against." And then Gail will say, "Well, why don't you, buy your own food, cook your own food, and pay some rent?" And then Sean will say, "Mom, you can go to the game." It's kind of a joke, but throughout the season, I'll take Gail 3 times. I'll take Sean 3 times. I'll take a couple of my other kids, and then a couple of friends. So what do I think is going to happen on Saturday? I think the Canucks will win. It's not the big bad Bruins anymore. Yes, I agree, Arjun. I still hate them as well. I'll never get over 2011, but they're not the big bad Bruins anymore. They're a very skilled team, probably the best first line in hockey with Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand, of course. I hate saying that name. But yeah, I think the Canucks will be excited to get back. I think Marchand will get back in net. People will be excited to see the Canucks. So I'm going to say 4-2 Vancouver. I don't know why I just didn't say that. Canucks have scored actually 3 goals, at least 3 goals in every game except until tonight. But Winnipeg is a big, big team. What does IR mean? What kind of IR is injured reserve? And you put guys on there if they're going to be out any longer than a week, basically, is what injured reserve is. You don't have to pay their salary, but then they have to wait at least 7 to 10 days before they get back into the lineup. I like Gaudette tonight. Wasn't amazing, but looked comfortable. Yeah, Gaudette's getting better as we go, and the Canucks will need him to get better. I'm surprised he got shot up to the second line, but obviously Brendan Sutter, they like him on that third line, and maybe Marcus Granlund, they wanted to see what he could do. But Gaudette could also flop down to the fourth line, switch places with Granlund in Pettersson's absence. But yeah, he did look better tonight than he did on Tuesday night for sure. Hi. Hi. Yeah, thank you for saying hi for those of you. Horvat's hustle and determination is so awesome to see. Yeah, he's strong. He's my favorite player. And I won't go through the story again, but he's been my favorite player since my son Sean got to caddy for Bo Horvat at the Jake Milford tournament 3 summers ago. And I've talked about that a couple of times on my YouTube channel, but it was a wonderful experience. And there was my 3 years ago, so my 14-year-old son Sean at the time, driving Bo Horvat, who was only a few years older than him, around the course in the golf cart, caddying for him, you know, suggesting clubs, suggesting shots. It was a really, really good experience. I've had a healthy respect for Bo Horvat ever since then. Love what he does on the ice. Love the way he's improved off the ice. How he's looked at as leader. So much so that I wrote a rap song about Horvat. You know, I'm going to put it in right. Give me a second. I'm going to look it up. This is kind of self-serving, but heck, I'm doing a live stream. Everything's self-serving. Okay, so I'm going to put a link right in the oh, that's a little loud. All right, I'm putting a link right in the chat right now. Check it out now, later, whenever you want. That is my music video that I did with the Vancouver Canucks a year and a half ago. It's called 53 Horvat Magic. It's a parody. As many of you know, I've done 24 Canucks song parodies over the past 8 years or so. That one's a parody of the Bruno Mars song 24 Karat Magic. And again, that is 53 Horvat Magic. So check it out if you have time, if you have nothing else to do, and if you just want to humor me. I think you'll enjoy it. Yes, that is me rapping. Okay. I like Odette. We talked about that. Horvat. Without Pettersson, the next week will be pretty rough for them, unfortunately. Yeah, Grav, they're 1-1 without Pettersson. Life with, you know, without Pettersson begins. You can see that they're going to have their struggles offensively, whether it's on the power play or at regular strength. You know, now you're having a Godette or a Granlund play on the second line, playing further up the lineup than they probably should. So we'll see how it goes. It's only been 2 games, and hopefully only be 1 or 2 more. You know, I love it if Pettersson plays, you know, on this upcoming 2-game homestand. But as I've said in my videos, we certainly don't want to rush him coming back from concussion. I don't know if any of you guys have had a concussion. I've had one in my life. It's not great. It's pretty scary, actually. So yeah, there's certainly no rush in getting Pettersson back into the lineup. The chat is completely died. I wonder if that's because I posted my video, but we'll see. Let's keep answering these questions. They still did amazing. Oh, one sec. Do you think PD can get us out of this rebuild faster than expected? Yeah, Sim Alexander, I'm surprised at how quickly, you know, obviously with his 5 goals in his first 5 games, very surprised at the start. And what he's done is he's given the Canucks hope. You know, it's funny. We were so hyped about Besser last year, and now we are even more hyped about Pettersson this year. So will he get them out of the rebuild faster? I think, you know, it will take more than just him. But if other players are inspired by him, and if other players still want, you know, inspired and you know, excited by and go from Pettersson's example, then yes, it could speed up the rebuild. It's hard to say. Is it sped up by 25%, by half a season, by a season, whatever it may be? You add a guy like Quinn Hughes in the lineup next year, though, and now you have in Hughes, in Pettersson, in Besser, and still in Horvat, and in less terms for Tannen and Berchi. You have guys that are exciting to watch. But yeah, definitely Pettersson, Besser, Hughes, and Horvat. Definitely and Demko you could add in Ulevi, definitely the foundation of our future for sure. They still did amazing on this road trip. Yep, 3-3, like I said, 6 out of possible 12 points. Yo, what up, DOE? I'm not very cool. I'm 44 years old. I was surprised. I presume that means a good thing, but if you just said something mean to me, that's not nice. All right, Justin. Well, my favorite team. Well, yeah, Justin, another good hockey YouTuber. Justin, put your channel down below. I think it's Yinzer on hockey, if I'm not mistaken. But Justin, a good Pittsburgh fan, a good Winnipeg Jets fan, and so the Canucks went 1-1 against Justin's favorite teams. But so we got Grav in here, Dallas, Justin, a Pittsburgh blogger, video blogger. Make sure you follow those 2 guys out. I see Andrew's in there too, so I'll get to him in a second. All right. Line should be put in the first line with Wheeler and Scheifele. Yeah, you know, wow, what an embarrassment of riches, right? When you have to put Line on the second line. I think Kyle Connor is playing up in the first line with Scheifele and Wheeler. But, you know, if Line is still going to get his 19, 20, 21 minutes a game, I don't think anyone's complaining. Maybe 18 or 19 minutes. I don't know, actually. I don't know Line's ice time. But, yeah, what an embarrassment of riches when you can have Line on a separate line with Wheeler and Scheifele. You figure Markstrom starts the next game at home. Yes, Gangster, I do. I think the fact that Nilsson faltered a little bit tonight, it's not his fault. He's played 4 straight. He went 3-1, but now would be a natural time, not just because of the loss, but I contend that even if Nilsson won tonight, I think they would have gone back to Markstrom. It's a short flight from Winnipeg, only a few hours, but it's still a flight, and you don't want to lose Markstrom, mentally. I don't think he will. I think he's too professional for that. But yes, the fact that Winnipeg won tonight, though, kind of lost, I definitely think you'll see Markstrom in net. Leave a comment below if you guys agree with me that Markstrom will likely start on Saturday night. Besser needs to work on his passing. Yeah, Braitzer, I agree with you. Besser passes the puck like he shoots it. And I think you guys know where I'm going with that. It's hard. He passes the puck. There are at least 2 times where I remember him basically be on his own blue line and trying to pass the puck out of his zone, and it bounces right off someone. Wow, that was strong. It bounces off someone's stick because he basically passes the puck like he shoots it. So he doesn't have the best touch on his passes, that's for sure. I agree with you. Do you think the Canucks will score any hat tricks this season? Yeah, I think so. They're rare, especially for a team that scores as little as the Canucks do. But I could see, Besser or Pettersson or even Horvat netting a hat trick by the end of the season. But we shall see. Maybe Pettersson was already on IR, but wasn't reported till now. Exactly, Daniel. That's exactly what I'm saying. Whether it was quiet or retroactive, I believe that if the Canucks were smart, they put him on IR on Saturday night or on Sunday as soon as the injury happened, as soon as they knew it was serious. And like I said, I've said this a couple times already, then already it counts towards that 7 to 10 days off, and they save the salary. And that salary that could be used at the end of the year for whatever reason. Every little dollar counts. So yes, I agree with you, Daniel. I believe Pettersson was likely on IR since Sunday. Gangster, still thank you, Samuel. I'm predicting Pettersson comes back in the Vegas game on Wednesday. Yeah, that's a good point, Samuel, because the Canucks have basically they're home to Boston on Saturday, and then they're home to Washington on Monday, and then they travel, and then Wednesday night the 24th in Vegas, and Thursday night the 25th in Arizona. If you count, he got injured on the 13th. If the protocol is 7 to 10 days, he could start in Boston, but I think that's too soon. Maybe makes an appearance in Washington, but if they keep him out until Vegas, then that's actually 11 days, a week and a half since his injury. So you could be right. All right, Andrew, is it Pilik or Pulik? I should know this, but Andrew is here. Love the stream, man. Canucks are looking to start seeing. So follow Andrew as well. Another hockey YouTuber, does great stuff based out of Toronto, does really good videos, not only on the Leafs, but on other things. So make sure that you get to him as well. Actually, Justin did a good point about cap relief. I'll get to that when I go in order. So give Grav a follow, give Justin a follow, and give Andrew a follow. When I say follow, I basically mean a sub to their channels. Helen Hughes, do you think Besser's slow start is because of the increase in weight or is recovery from the back injury? We talked about this at length in a couple of my other videos. It could be anything. We don't know. It could be the weight. I gained 10 pounds, but it's not muscle. It's because I like drinking Pepsi. But I've never been a high-level athlete, so I don't know. Some people say, yeah, it's going to affect you, right? You're going to feel a little sluggish. You're not used to carrying that weight. Others say, no, man, he's a professional athlete. If it's muscle, it won't affect him that much. But you never know. It could be a combination of 3 things: his injuries, his weight, and his confidence. And when it comes to injuries, it's not only the back injury, but don't forget his wrist is heavily taped. He says it's fine, but you never know. It could be a combination of wrist and back. Next, if Pettersson stays this good, I don't think we really need Jack Hughes. However, it would be nice. I don't support the T word. Good. A man after my own heart, or a woman after my own heart. I'm not sure. But yes, I will never say the word TANK because I'm not part of that team. I don't believe in it, and it rarely works out. Yeah, of course, Jack Hughes would be nice. Can you imagine some forwards, forward lineup with Besser, Pettersson? Oh my gosh, can you imagine this power play of Horvat, Besser, Pettersson, Hughes, and Hughes? But yeah, let's worry about that later. We got a lot of time to talk about how the Canucks are going to do. It's only 7 games in, but they are 4-3 on the season. Thoughts on Antoine Roussel? In my opinion, he's been surprisingly quicker than I thought he would be. Yeah, Grav, if you're still here, maybe you can weigh in on Roussel, given that Grav's from Dallas. But yeah, Roussel has been good. We weren't sure what we were going to get, especially when he had the slow start. He started on IR because of concussion. But I thought tonight, especially in the first period, he made a really nice play to the middle, and he got a decent shot, a decent scoring chance off. And he hasn't looked out of place. He hasn't looked like he's been slow. And I think as he gets more familiar with his teammates, develops chemistry, and just figures out this team and his role on it, I think he's going to be a very valuable addition. Well, we better get used to him. We have him for 4 years. What's the T word? Yeah, thank you for answering. I don't want to answer it. Hey, Clay, I think the Canucks just ran out of gas. I have to disagree. So another good video blogger here, Canucks to you. So make sure you check out his channel. His name is Jeff. He's got a gaming channel and he's got a Canucks channel. Make sure you check him out. Yes, Canucks ran out of gas. Yeah, it's the end of the 6-game road trip and can't expect more. Justin, okay, thank you for the clarification. They do not get cap relief for IR. You only get relief for LTIR. They get an additional. Okay, great point. So Justin says that you don't get cap relief for injuries. I should know that kind of stuff, but I don't obviously. But you do obviously get the roster spot, and then yeah, with IR being a minimum amount of time, if the Canucks did it quickly, then Pettersson can get back quickly as soon as he's healthy. And Justin's account, as he put there, is Yinzer on Hockey. So not this one, a different called Yinzer on Hockey. Check that out as well. Pull out with a beauty pass, tape to tape. Yeah, that was an excellent pass, good vision, and right from behind his net all the way out to the neutral zone. It was beautiful, and it wasn't just along the ice too. I believe it was a bit of a sauce, so that was kind of cool. Do you still think Besser can score 30 goals on the season? Before this game, he had 2 goals in 6 games, 1 over every 3. That puts him on pace for 27. Now it's 2 out of 7, so a bit less than 1 out of 3. Yes, I can still think he can get to 30, but it's going to be tough. But Besser, like many goal scorers, are quite streaky. So maybe he goes through a stretch where he scores, in 3 or 4 or 5 straight games, or maybe he has 5 goals in 3 games, or stretches like that can kind of make up for these dry spots. So we will see. I think he can get 30, but not much more than that. Anton Rizal is like Alex Burrows. Yeah, he brings a lot of the same things. Helen, all right, let's try again. Spelled name right. That pass by Pouliot was beautiful. I agree. Roussel's concussion was far worse than Pettersson's. Yeah, I don't think I saw footage of Roussel's concussion, but the fact that he was out so much longer, right? He missed all preseason. He missed a lot of training camp, and he missed the first few games of the season. That's a long, at least a month, not 2 months. So let's pray and let's hope that Pettersson isn't out close to that, but you never know. He could, I hope not. He could suffer a setback in his recovery, but it doesn't sound like that so far. Roussel looks fine. I agree with you. That was a follow-up. Roussel's concussion was far worse than Pettersson, and Roussel looks fine. So that's good news for Pettersson, hopefully. Thank you. More videos coming soon. I'm following the others too. Do you think Leipzig will draw on Saturday? Yeah, Jeff, I do think Leipzig will draw. And I think, with a loss, it's not the end of the world, but a loss is a good reason for a coach to make a change. I see Leipzig coming in. I don't know who for, though. That's the thing. Like Schaller, Mott, and Granlund had a really good game last game. Not so good today. Do you take Virtanen out? Likely not. So if Leipzig draws in, I think it would be Mott or Granlund. But then you need Granlund as a center. So is it Mott? I'm not sure. So I think it's 50-50 right now. When do you think Demko will be ready for a backup job? So a bit of insider info, nothing exciting here, but I know of a guy, one of my neighbors is close friends with someone within the Canucks organization, and no surprise, they are very high on Thatcher Demko. They're almost Roberto Luongo type high on Thatcher Demko. I see him getting a chance to battle for the backup job as early as the end of this season. We could see a few things at the end of this year. You could see Quinn Hughes come up once Michigan, hopefully not too early, but once Michigan gets eliminated from playoff contention, if they don't make it to the Final Four or to the Frozen Four, I should say. You could see Thatcher Demko come up. You don't watch mission injury on Mark Nielsen, but injury or poor play, you could see Demko come up. And the fact that Nielsen's got unrestricted free agent after this season, the Canucks could look to move him in the trade deadline, at least get a draft pick back. And then that's another reason to bring Demko up. Well, obviously, he's got to get healthy from his concussion. But I see Demko playing significant games, or at least games up with the Canucks by the end of this season. And then I see a Markstrom and Demko combo for next season, unless the Canucks make a move for another goalie. Then Markstrom's contract is up after 2 years. And who knows? Will DiPietro be ready? Will the Canucks feel comfortable enough with Demko and DiPietro? Will they bring a veteran backstopper to help bridge it for a couple of years? We shall see. Who won the game? I missed due to work. Keith, Winnipeg won 4-1. Wasn't pretty, but the Canucks did their best. They hung in there for 2 periods, and then the wheels kind of fell off. When will Adam Gaudette score his first goal? Braidster, if I knew that, I would go buy a lottery ticket too. Who knows? They didn't generate a lot of chances tonight, so it could be, it could be as early as next game. He could go 5, 8, 10 games without a goal. Let's just hope it's not that long. It's hard to say. Did you see Matheson's statement on the suspension? I did. And I did talk about that in my video from this morning. He said the right things. Because I'm not a judgmental person, although I was very mad on Saturday, or maybe it's because I'm a very forgiving person or whatever it may be. I believe him. He seemed contrite. He looked contrite. He looked humble. He says, you know, he wasn't trying to injure Pettersson, which I agree. You know, I'm sure in the heat of the moment, he wasn't thinking that he was going to give Pettersson a concussion. But maybe he was frustrated despite what he said. Maybe it was, you know, in the heat of the moment that he pushed Pettersson down, not thinking his head would bounce off the ice. Of course, I'm still upset. Of course, I'm still mad. And we would love Pettersson to be in the lineup right now. But, you know, you have to take a man for his word. And I think overall, as a society, we're quite forgiving. Canucks fans are crazy. I talked about that this morning. But overall, as a forgiving society, I do believe him. I know a lot of people on my YouTube account didn't agree with him, didn't believe him, or didn't agree with me, which is totally fine. But if you're asking me, I did hear his statement, and I do believe that he does feel sorry. And he did reach out to Pettersson, and Pettersson reached out back or replied back to him, which is a good sign. Winnipeg won. Yeah. Do you think Leipzig can become a top 6 forward? I thought so last year. As soon as he joined the Canucks, he had a wonderful start to his tenure with the Canucks. He played well with Horvat. He played well with when he came over, or with Besser. But, you know, then he didn't do so well in preseason at the start of the season. Still young, still a lot of time. Can he be a top 6? Maybe. How's that for sitting on the fence? But is there space for him? You know, the only guy he'd really bump out is Eriksson, I think, if he plays on the right side, because you're not going to bump out Horvat, Berchi, Besser, Pettersson, or Goalie likely. And I think it was Goalie and Leipzig fighting for the same spot, and Goalie won it, at least to start off. Can he be a top 6? Yeah. Will he be? Not so sure. But I do like his play. I do like how strong he is on the puck. What are your thoughts on Eriksson? Mentioned it earlier, Jeff. He's got to live up to his contract. We're only in year 3 of 6 years. Had a good start, but we now see that was likely because of Pettersson. He's invisible. He looks ineffective. You don't really notice him. He's okay responsibly defensively, but he's got to do more in the offensive zone, especially for the $6 million he's making over the next 4 more years. I am not liking Virtanen's game right now. He's too inconsistent. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, that he's got all the tools, but he's got to put it together. He had a great ending to last season, and he's shown flashes already this year, but we need to see it more. And I think inconsistent is a perfect word to describe him. Do you think Gaudette will stay up when everyone's healthy? Who'll be sent back or scratch? When Pettersson comes back, yeah, I think I don't know the exact rules when it comes to waivers, sending guys down, but if Gaudette can be sent down, yes, I do think he will be the one to be sent down. You don't need 5 centers up here, especially when you have guys like Amat and Leipzig chomping at the bit. So I do think Gaudette will go back down, only because I think of his age and his contract dictates that he is able to do so without us losing him on waivers. I was hoping they have stuck it to the Jets due to the lining comments about the fortnight, but the Jets were probably mad about lost it. Yeah, regardless of if you get inspired or motivated by a bulletin board material of a comment about video games or whatever it may be, I think we just know that the Jets are a very strong team, and we shouldn't be surprised that at home, coming off a loss, exactly what you said, Keith, is kind of what we expected. And not only the Jets coming off a loss, and they're at home and they want to play well, the Canucks are finished off a 6-game road trip. Why not scratch Louis for Leipzig? Yep, that could be a thing that we see. I don't disagree. I knew Laine was going to score when he's left wide open. Yeah, you kind of saw that happen. You know, the first pass got through to him, and he just ripped it over the net, and then he basically went to the exact same spot. They did the exact same play, and it was an amazing pass. I think it was by Wheeler, up and down or straight across. And I think it was Hutton and Gudbranson that were a little slow getting to it. And sure enough, the puck goes in the net. A great shot. And that's what we obviously want to see from Besser. I'd scratch Louis for Leipzig. So that's a second vote for that. Bad defensive play by Gutty. Yep, on that goal. I've seen all of Laine's goals. He rarely misses from there. Yeah, whether it's the Ovechkin spot, the Stamkos spot, the Laine spot, or now the Brock Besser spot, hopefully. Yeah, those guys make teams pay when you go on the penalty kill or when they go on the power play. Left wide open twice. He's not going to miss it and give him a second chance. I agree, Helen. And that's why it was kind of funny. We all knew he was going to go there. And sure enough, he went there and he buried it. And okay, good. So I made it to the end of the comments without rushing like a crazy. I'll stay on for about five more minutes or so. I'm going to get off by 8:30. Got to go watch some TV, catch up on some TV. I think it's tonight's Criminal Minds night for me. But do you guys watch Criminal Minds? It's one of my favorites. Also watch Manifest and Survivor. And wrestling. It kind of embarrassed to say that, but I do. I really thought, a couple more. What about the curious case of Granlund? Can he reach up to 15 goals? That's a good question, Jeff. I definitely think Travis Green lights Granlund's versatility. He can play him up as high as the second line, third line, fourth line, center, or the wing, and those are the kind of guys that become very valuable. I don't think he's going to get to 15 goals, but I think he can certainly be a contributor on this team, especially if he's sound defensively, gives some hustle. And the goal that Granlund, Mott, and Schaller were on today, it was a little scrambly. That was the one where, Goodbranson made a check in the corner, but lost his man. And if you saw the goal, there's Winnipeg's third goal. The puck came out from behind the net. And I think it actually hit Hutton's stick, bounced up. It was a little bit scrambly. Everyone's trying to take a man and or take the puck. And in that scramble, Winnipeg prevailed. So I can't really blame Granlund's line for that, although they certainly took the minus. I really thought Brock was going to score in that partial break. Yeah, that was a great defensive play on the Canucks end, and a beautiful pass from Goodobin up to Brock. And usually, not always, but he usually wires that. But it would be nice if he went for a corner, but at least Brock didn't shoot wide. He got a puck on net, create a rebound potentially, but Hellback played it well. And Hellback, as I mentioned, is a very good goalie. Criminal Minds was filmed here. Like all of them, or just one? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Do you think Canucks can make the playoffs if they pick up a superstar at the break? And they could if they picked up a superstar, but I don't think they're going to do that, because to pick up a superstar, you're going to have to give up either a prospect, a roster player, a draft pick, or a combination of all three, and that simply wouldn't make sense at this point. Although rumor has it that's why Trevor Linden left, right? Because Aquilinian and Benning were interested in the Erik Karlssons and the John Tavarises of the world, and when they want to do that, and Linden didn't like that, that's where some of the friction started. I won't get too much into it now. I've had a couple of commenters on YouTube who seem to know the story better than I do, but that seems to be what they're kind of hinting at. I'm going to the Minnesota game this month. Oh, that's awesome, Samuel. I'm not. I'm actually going. I'm lucky. I'm going to Boston, Washington, and Pittsburgh. So I'm seeing the next 3 home games, but I will not be going to the Minnesota one at the end of the month. But for any of you that are going to the Canucks games, shoot me a message on YouTube or on Twitter. Let me know that you're going to be there. I'd love to meet up with you, say hi. Always love to meet people that take the time out of the busy schedules to watch some of these videos. A few episodes downtown Vancouver. Okay, that's cool. Do you think Pouliot become the offensive defenseman? Good question, Braidster. Offensive defenseman, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but we've seen flashes that he does have some offensive awareness, but we didn't see a lot of it last year. We've seen a bit of it this year. I think with Pouliot, what you see, what you get. He's going to be a solid bottom 3 defenseman, maybe get some power play time on a second unit, but I don't see him doing much more than that. And as we know, a lot of guys light it up in their junior leagues with the W or the OHL or Quebec, whatever. And then when they get to the big show, the NHL, they take a different role, or they play with different people, and obviously the competition's a lot tougher. Well, let's wrap this up. Got a couple tickets to the January 16th game against the Oilers. That's awesome. Have a good night, Clay. Good post-game stream. Thanks, Jeff. So for all of you, I want to thank all of you for coming today, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules. People weren't super mad about the game tonight. I think we accept that the Canucks went 3-3. We accept that they lost to a very strong team in Winnipeg. So there are 4, at least I know of 4 Canucks YouTubers, hockey YouTubers that were on here. Give them a follow. That's Gravite, that's Andrew Pilak Hockey, that's Yinzer on Hockey, and that is Hockey to You. So give those guys a sub and help them out and support them in what they're doing. I really appreciate all of you. If you're here, it's maybe because you're a subscriber already. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet already, I invite you to do so and give the videos a like if you like what I'm doing. But really thanks for taking the time out. I'm watching it. And if you're a Twitter guy, I'm at Canuck Clay. If you're on Instagram, it's my full name, at Clayton Emo. And yeah, I'm going to try and do these live streams maybe 2 or 3 times a month. I won't go as far to say they'll be once a week, but if it's an early game or a late game and I happen to be home watching the game and Gail and the kids don't mind me taking over the family room for 30 to 45 minutes, then I'm happy to jump on here and connect with you guys. Okay, thanks everyone. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. God bless, and go Canucks go.